Hello everyone, so today we are going to discuss about the summary of Abhijnana Shakuntala. So in this, this would be the one long video. I think it would be more like 30 to 35 minutes. And if you will watch this video, so yeah, you will understand that what is the whole Shakuntala is about, like Abhijnana Shakuntala. So I would say watch it. That's it. I'm also a student of first semester English honors, so there would be few mistakes. Suppose if there are some mistakes, so ignore it. Okay. So Abhijnanam Shakuntala. Okay. So Abhijnanam Shakuntalam is a beautiful tale of love and romance, and how one moment can make or break a relation. So Abhijnanam Shakuntalam is a very beautiful tale, and it tells about the beautiful love and romance, and how one moment can destroy the whole love, or it can just make the whole love. As you know that in Abhijnana Shakuntalam, when Shakuntala was so much occupied in the thoughts of Dushyanta, and suddenly Rishi Durvasa came. So when Rishi Durvasa came, Shakuntala didn't pay much attention to his arrival, right? And she wasn't even aware that Rishi Durvasa is here, and right. So when Rishi Durvasa gave her a curse, and he said that the one you are thinking about, he will not even recognize you, and you will literally miss him so much, you will remember him so much, but he will not be able to recognize you, right? So like this we come to know that how can one moment can destroy, can make your love or relation. It is written by one of the best poets of India, that is Kalidasa. If you don't know, so Kalidasa is also called as or known as the Indian Shakespeare of India, right? And he has written so many Sanskrit dramas, and he is so famous in the world of Sanskrit literature. And there are so many people who still read Kalidasa's work and all. And he's so versatile, he's a lot versatile, because he has explored a lot of genres. So you can write these things, and in the introduction you can write these things, right? So it is written by Abhijnana Shakuntalam is written by Kalidasa. We will discuss about the summary here. And this is a very beautiful drama. It is a romantic drama. The theme of this drama are still used in a lot of dance forms and all. And the main character or the protagonist of this drama is Shakuntala, right? Shakuntala, now who is Shakuntala? Shakuntala is the daughter of Vishwamitra and Apsara Menka. So she is the daughter of Vishwamitra and Apsara Menka. Now Act 1. So Act 1 says that long ago the powerful sage Vishwamitra was immersed in a concentrated meditation. So long ago there was a sage named Vishwamitra. So Vishwamitra was engaged in a meditation. Fearing that he may gain more power than the gods, Indra decided to send down one of the most gorgeous heavenly named Menka to disturb his meditation. So fearing that he maybe that Vishwamitra would be more powerful than God. So Lord Indra, what did he do? He sends one of his very beautiful, most gorgeous Apsara down on the earth, so that she would disturb him, right? So she succeeds in seducing him, and they have a very beautiful daughter. But Menka has to return to heaven, so they left the child in that garden near a lake. Now that Apsara named Menka, she was succeeded in her task, and she distracted Vishwamitra. And after that they had a very beautiful daughter together. And after all the things, Vishwamitra became so furious because Menka disturbed him, and she literally destroyed the meditation that he was doing. So he was so furious, and he left Menka and the daughter alone in that garden. And because Menka was one of the Apsaras in Indra's, right? So she also couldn't take that child with her in the heaven. So that's why she left the child in the garden near the lake, right? Now what happened after that? So a swan in the lake sees the crying child and gives it to some water. So the child, as you know, that all the child cries all the time. So a swan sees that child, that okay, this child is crying. So she sees, so that swan gives some water to the child. Just then a sage named Kanva, who is passing by the seas to the swan giving water to the child, he decides to take so what happened? So Rishi Kanva was passing through that, so he sees that okay, a swan is giving water to a child, so and that child is alone. So he said, okay, I will raise this child, right? So he raised this child and he named this child as Shakuntala. And what does Shakuntala means? So Shakuntala means one who is fed by the swan. So this is the meaning of Shakuntala, that one who is fed up by swan. Now Shakuntala grows up as beautiful as her mother Menka. So when Shakuntala grows up, so she was so beautiful, just like her mother Menka. Okay, so on one day Dushyanta enters to a carrier chasing a deer. A hermit stops him, pointing out that he has entered a hermitage in which the animal is protected. The king relents that the hermit blesses the king with the promise of a son. Passing further through the hermitage, King Dushyanta surprisingly watches Shakuntala, Anusuya and Priyamvada. When we traverse Shakuntala, Dushyanta leaves his hiding place but does not reveal his identity that he is a king, though he gives to Shakuntala a ring that signals his identity. The king's soldiers disturb hermitage and he leaves to draw them away. Right. So after that, what happens? So one day Dushyanta was hunting and he went to a hermitage. Right. He was hunting a deer and then he went to a hermitage. Now when he was in the hermitage, so there were two hermits and they said that it is illegal, you cannot do it because it is a hermitage and all the animals are protected here, not killed, right? So he said okay, and he didn't do it and he agreed. So that's why he said that you will have a son, like he blessed him with a son and all. Now when he was going through that, so he sees a very beautiful girl, Shakuntala and her two friends Anusuya and Premada were there and they all were praying, and Shakuntala, like a bee was teasing Shakuntala, so Shakuntala was so disturbed and annoying and she was asking for help. So our king, he finds the opportunity, he went there and he helped her. But he didn't tell that I am a king and all. He just went there and he helped Shakuntala. And after that he leaves from there. And he also gives her a signet ring. Now see, this signet ring is very important. Where it is? This ring is very important. Okay, the importance we will get. So yeah, he gives her a ring and he didn't reveal his identity that he is a king. The king's soldier disturbed the hermitage and he leaves to draw them away. So and when the king, like his guards were seeing him, right? His soldiers were seeing him. So he just indicated to go away from here, right? Now in Act 1, what has happened? That there was एक ऋषि होते हैं विश्वामित्र. तो विश्वामित्र जो है बहुत बड़ी तपस्या मतलब कर रहे होते हैं ताकि उनको वरदान वगैरह जो होता है ब्लेसिंग गॉड्स की मिल जाए. तो फिर जो होते हैं लॉर्ड इंद्रा को लगता है कि विश्वामित्र को तो हमसे भी ज़्यादा पावर मिल जाएगी, शायद ये जो है भगवान से भी ज़्यादा पावरफुल हो जाए. तो उन्होंने इसलिए जो है मेनका को भेज दिया कि जाओ मेनका, आप जो है इसको जाके डिस्टर्ब करो. अब मेनका यहाँ पे आती है तो मेनका जो है अपने टास्क में सक्सेसफुल हो जाती है और दोनों का फिर एक बेबी होता है, डॉटर, और डॉटर का नाम बाद में पड़ता है शकुंतला. ये जो नाम होता है इसको कौन देते हैं? तो इसको देते हैं ऋषि कण्वा, ये नाम देते हैं क्योंकि फिर वो जो है मेनका उसकी तपस्या को भंग कर देती है. किसकी तपस्या को? विश्वामित्र की. तो विश्वामित्र became so furious and then he he just leave both of them. तो वो जब बहुत गुस्सा हो जाता है उन दोनों को छोड़ देते हैं और मेनका भी एक अफसर होते हैं, he couldn't take the child. तो इसलिए जो है वो उसको इधर ही गार्डन में एक छोड़ देती है, और गार्डन के पास लेक भी होता है। तो लेक से जो है स्वान जो है बच्चे को पानी पिला रही होती है। तो फिर जो है कान्हा जब जा रहे होते हैं वहां से, तो ऋषि कन्वा उनको देखते हैं, और फिर उसके बाद जो है उसको बोलते कि हम इसको घर ले जाएंगे, हम इसकी देखभाल करेंगे, और उसको जो है नाम भी देते हैं। नाम का दे देते हैं शकुंतला। वाई? बिकॉज शकुंतला मीन्स वन हु इज फेड बाय अ स्वान। ऐसा होता है। फिर एक दिन जो है जो दुष्यंता होता है, दुष्यंता जो है राजा है, ही इज अ किंग ऑफ कुरु डायनेस्टी। तो जो दुष्यंता होता है वो जा रहा होता है शिकार करने। तो शिकार करते करते हर्मिटेज में एंटर हो जाता है, वहां पे जाकर शिकार करने लगता है। तो जब उसको देखते हैं हर्मिट्स, तो दे से कि it is not right, it is not right because it is a hermitage and all the animals are protected here, so you cannot kill anyone. तो वे एग्री हो जाता है। तो जब वो एग्री हो जाता है तो all the like those two hermitages give him a blessing that you will have a son. जब वो वहां से जा रहा होता है तो उसे शकुंतला, प्रेमवदा और अनुसुईया दिखती है। तो ये लोग क्या कर रहे होते हैं, मतलब ऐसे खेल वगैरह रहते होते हैं, और जो बीज होती है दैट बी वो लाइक डिस्टर्बिंग शकुंतलाज अ लॉट, राइट। तो फिर वो जो है वो आते हैं एंड ही हेल्प्स हर, और जो है ही डजंट रिवील द आइडेंटिटी दैट आई एम द किंग एंड ऑल। तो अब तक इतना हुआ है। एंड ही ऑल्सो गिव्स हर अ रिंग, सिग्नेट रिंग। नाउ एक्ट 2। तो एक्ट 2 में द क्लाउन Madhava enters complaining Madhava and the king compromise to get close to Shakuntala. Dushyanta sends Madhava back to the place to participate to his place in the ceremonies marking the end of the king's mother fast. So हाँ, in the act 2, so act 2 में होता क्या है, in act 2 इंग्लिश इसमें शॉर्ट सा है act 2 में। So the king Dushyanta was completely lost in Shakuntala's thoughts, and when Madhava enters, so king started talking about Shakuntala, that tell me that how does Shakuntala looks and all. So and all these things. So when they were about to talk about Shakuntala, then someone just enters and he said that that please protect us, there are some emergency. And the king was in a dilemma because her mother said that there would be some rituals like some kind of yagg in the kingdom, so we please be there. And another person, he just asked king to help him. Right now king was in dilemma that where he should go. So he said Madhava to go to his mother, as her mother also considered him as like her second son, like. So that's why जो माधव्य होता है he goes to the kingdom, और जो वो king होते हैं दुष्यंता, he goes to protect that person. Now act 3. Having revealed his identity, King Dushyanta rests in the hermitage. The king spies on Anusuya, Parinvada and Shakuntala talking obliquely of romance. He discovers that Shakuntala is smiled with him. When Shakuntala sings a love poem, the king steps out of hiding. They all speak obliquely of romance. Anusuya and Premvada slip away. Dushyanta and Shakuntala get close, but the king hides when Gautami appears. The king puzzles over his failure to take advantage of the moment, then leaves to protect the evening rites. So in the third play, what happens that they all like king went there, and when he was saving that like after doing his duty, when he was coming out of the hermitage, so he मतलब फिर से पूरा नहीं था, so he sees some kind of footprints. So he thought, okay, these footprints would be Shakuntala's footprints. So he followed those footprints and he reached to a lake. Now when he went there, so Shakuntala was saying that Shakuntala was not even fine. She was having some kind of fever, like love fever and all. So Premvada and Anusuya said that you are completely in love, and why don't you why don't you write all the feelings that you are feeling on the piece of a paper. So Shakuntala does that like she was doing it, and right at the moment when she started writing, our king Dushyanta went in front of her and he proposed her, and later on they also had the Gandharva Vivah, because Shakuntala also loves Dushyanta and Dushyanta also loves Shakuntala, so they did Gandharva Vivah. Now what is Gandharva Vivah? So Gandharva Vivah is kind of a marriage where you make witness to the nature, राइट। जैसे कि हम लोगों की शादी होती है, हम 4 लोगों के सामने करते हैं फॉर द विटनेस, बट जो तुम्हारा जो गंधर्व विवाह होता है, इन दैट योर मदर नेचर इज द विटनेस। तो इतनी होता है एक्ट 3 में। एक्ट 4, अनुसुईया एंड प्रेमवदा डिस्कस शकुंतला's marriage to Dushyanta, which has accomplished simply by the two lovers' common consent. They hear Durvasa's angry voice casting Shakuntala for not attending him properly upon his arrival at the hermitage. हाँ, so after that what happens, जो इसमें फिर से इसमें जो काम दे रखा है, okay, hermitage, because she is distracted by the thoughts of her lover. The sage imposes a curse that her love will completely forget her. Premvada dashes off stage and returns to report that because she imported the sage to reconsider, Durvasa has allowed that although the king will forget Shakuntala, the glimpse of ring the king gave to her will restore his memory, and Shakuntala prepares to leave to king's place, escorted to Gautami by Gautami and other members also, like Sarvada and all. So Shakuntala departure for the hermitage is charged with emotions. So what happened? So after Gandharva Viva, king and Shakuntala started living together for a while, and after some days, king got one message from the palace or from the kingdom that there are some emergency and he is supposed to be there. So the king went there, and before going there, he said to Shakuntala that he will come soon, and he goes there, right. Now Shakuntala was mainly in love with Dushyanta. So Shakuntala misses him a lot, and she was always lost in his thoughts, right. So once Rishi Durvasa comes in the hermitage, and Shakuntala couldn't pay attention to him because he was already occupied in Dushyanta's thought, and just because of that, Durvasa became so angry, literally like so angry, and he cursed Shakuntala that the one you are thinking about, he will forget you, and you will cry a lot, you will miss a lot, and you will remember him a lot, but he will not even realize you. So after listening to this, Shakuntala asked for forgiveness, but he didn't do anything. Later on, Premvada then she goes to Premvada and Anusuya, and she says the whole thing. Then Premvada and Anusuya go to Durvasa, says Durvasa, and they say everything, that this and this happened, and just because of that, she was so much lost in the thoughts of Dushyanta. And after that, king said, okay, I cannot take back my curse, but I can tell you one thing, that maybe king has given you some sort of ticket of remembrance, right? Ticket of remembrance is the ring that he has given to Shakuntala. So ticket of remembrance, so if the king will see, if the king will see the ticket of remembrance, token, yeah, it was token, sorry, the token of remembrance, so the king will restore his memory and everything he will recall, right? So this happened, and so Shakuntala goes to there, like Shakuntala goes in the kingdom of Dushyanta. Right now we will have Act 5. So King Dushyanta sent Madhava into the king's chambers to try to modify Queen's Hamsapadika, who is upset over king's feelings for his other wives. The embassy from Kanva's hermitage is announced in the court. Shakuntala, Gautami and enters. They all feel misgiving. Sarangarva informs the king that Shakuntala is pregnant and requests that the king receive her as his wife. The king has forgotten Shakuntala entirely and treats the request as a scheme. Shakuntala discovers that Dushyanta's ring has disappeared from her fingers. Gautami speculates that Shakuntala lost it while bathing. Shakuntala accused the king of exploiting her. So what happens later on? So Act 4 was about when they were going there. So there, on the way, there was a river, and in that river, while taking bath, right, Shakuntala, the ring slipped from her finger, and that's when she lost the ring, right? And when she goes to the chamber of the king, so king wasn't able to recognize Shakuntala because of the curse of the Rishi Durvasha, right? So it is not even that king's fault, right? So that happened, and then who said that Sarangarva informs that Shakuntala is pregnant and she is your wife, so accept her. But king couldn't remember it, and if he couldn't remember it, so how could he, right, do it? But the king sees that okay, this woman is like so beautiful, but she is pregnant, so he couldn't do anything. And when nothing works, so Shakuntala goes from there, and this much happened right till now. The king responds with accusation of his own. Sarangatha recuperates Shakuntala and refuses to return her to the hermitage. Gautami, right? So we were discussing this. Stay in the place until she gives birth, so that her son can be examined for the marks of royalty. The priest proposes to send her back to the hermitage if the child proves to have no such sign. The king consents to the priest plan, but before it can be implemented, Shakuntala storms out, calling the earth to receive her. The report returns from off stage that a ray light seized Shakuntala and carried her off. King Dushyanta is bewildered. So then, what happened in the chamber, king started discussing this matter, right? And they were saying that if the child will get birth, then we will examine whether this child could be king's child or not, right? So they were discussing these things, and until unless they could implement this plan, what happens? Shakuntala disappears, right? And how does it happen? A very brightful light comes from the sky, and then with that light, Shakuntala also goes to the goes in the sky. So something like this happened, right? Now Act 6. So two policemen bring a fisherman to the chief of the police with accusation that the fisherman has stolen a royal signet ring, right? The officer have found in the position. The fisherman claims to have to find it in the belly of the fish. So after some days, there were two policemen. So they caught a fisherman, and what was the accusation? That the accusation was something that fisherman has stolen a royal signet ring, and that was the accusation. And in the return of that, in the opposition of that fisherman said that I have not stolen anything. And one of this